Welcome to Spit in the Bit. I'm here with trainer Jay Nehf, and Kazazi's back here somewhere. She'll probably make an appearance at some point. But we're talking about the Derby Trail. We're talking about horses that we kind of like who are potential Derby contenders. And Jay's got a very interesting take. If you go back and watch one of our previous episodes, he talks about just different trends that we have, maybe most people haven't noticed, of horses that we think, $1 million plus horses, they don't win the Derby. Horses that win
purely statistically.
Right. It's not a theory of yours. It's factual.
You have to be careful with statistical studies, let's say.
Sure.
Because they give you a very narrow, limited amount of information. They might tell you how likely something is to happen or not happen, but they don't tell you anything about why.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
you have to be careful how you look at this data. Nonetheless, it is real.
Yeah.
We know that since 1977, when Seattle Slew won the Derby, only one other stallion has won the Derby and then sired a Derby winner. It used to be a lot more common back in the 20s and the 30s,
sure,
but not now. Trends among trainers, all kinds of things. There have only been 2 horses that have won the Derby out of the 2-year-old in training sale. So we decided to look at this particular horse, a Derby prospect, whom I really like. His name is My World. He's the son of Essential Quality. And what caught my eye and really got me interested in this horse is that we have a mare who is about to have a foal by Essential Quality.
Okay.
So we really want to see My World do some good. However, he's got an awful lot going for him. And if we look at these statistical numbers, we know that in the entire history of the Kentucky Derby, only 2 horses have sold for $1 million or more and won the Derby. The average price in the last 10, 12 years of a Derby winner that has been purchased at auction is $350,000, and this horse, My World, sold for $350,000.
Perfect.
We know that stallions are highly unlikely to sire more than one Derby winner, and Essential Quality, the sire of My World. Essential Quality is not a Derby winner, so we don't have that Derby winner siring a Derby winner going for us, although he did win the Belmont Stakes.
That's okay, though.
So
that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll take that win.
His trainer, Brad Cox. Now, Brad Cox has never won a Derby. There are only a handful of trainers who have won the Derby more than once. Of course, Baffert. Todd Pletcher won it twice. Bill Mott won it twice, but once by DQ.
Okay.
Was it?
We'll see if that's...
Was it Mandaloon?
Yeah.
And then he won it last year with Sovereignty.
Yeah.
So none of those statistical issues apply to this horse. He's also he's got 4 starts. He's got 3 wins out of 4 starts. His first start he did not finish in the money, but then he won his second start, a maiden race. Then he won the Jerome.
Yep.
And no, he won the Nashua and then the Jerome. Both of those races were a mile.
Were they? Were the Jerome, was that at Aqueduct?
Yeah, both of those races.
It's a 1-turn mile then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But both of those races were in New York at Aqueduct.
Which, by the way, Kevin in the Jerome, Kevin picked him to win, and
right.
And it was a good pick.
Right. So he's. My World's got an awful lot going for him. The times of those races were not that fast. They were just okay. I mean, he was going a mile in like 138, 137 and change, 138. Those are not stellar times, but that's okay. Now, we've got, what do we got? First weekend of February, first weekend of March, first weekend of April. So potentially 3 more races before the Kentucky Derby, first weekend of May. Those are all points races. This horse has no points yet, but you know
I think he got 10 for the Jerome.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so but he
Okay.
only
So,
has 10. Yeah.
So all he has to do is finish in the money, finish first, second, or third in any of the later
And
points
the
races.
biggies, yeah.
And we also noticed that the last weekend before the Derby, first weekend of April, those are the 100-point to the winner, 50 points to second, etc.
Yeah, those are like the Florida Derby,
Florida
the Santa
Derby,
Anita.
Santa Anita Derby, Arkansas Derby, Wood Memorial,
and the Bluegrass.
and the Bluegrass,
Which we're gonna be
we're
at.
going to go to. Yes. However, in the last, God, I don't know, 10 years or so, none of those horses that have won those final prep races won the Derby.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they come out as one of the favorites.
And they're obviously one of the favorites. So, you know, horses that finish second, Sovereignty, Street Sense, second in the Bluegrass, won the Derby. I mean, we could go on and on. But those horses that are winning the Derby are not winning those big final prep races.
They're doing well in the races, per se, possibly,
Yeah,
but not
yeah.
necessarily winning. Okay.
You know, finishing in the money, but they're not winning. Street Sense finished second in the Bluegrass, and then turned around and won the Derby. So, again, it doesn't tell you why. I mean, all it takes is, okay, so Sovereignty finished second in the Florida Derby. Did he get beat a nose, or did he get beat 2 lengths? Did he have a problem breaking from the gate? Did he stumble? Did he get bumped? Did he? You know, that is not considered
Yeah.
in the statistical analysis.
Yeah. Right. And again, not that he wasn't trying to win, but he didn't need to win to get into the. He
Didn't
had
have
enough
to, yeah,
points. He
had-
didn't need
yeah.
to win to get in. So I don't know how that played into it, or if it played into it. But yeah, you don't know the full story.
Yeah. And are these horses getting beat because the horse that wins it is a 1.125 miles tops and then can't make the 1.25 miles?
Yeah, I'm noticing that a lot as I'm following this along. That early on, 2-year-old, that some of these horses are dynamite, are great at 7 furlongs, but they don't necessarily.
Doesn't, yeah.
And until you can look at the pedigree, it will give you some tell whether they can, but sometimes you got to wait to see if they can do it.
One of the things I like about My World is that he's already got 4 starts, so he's going to get theoretically at least 2, if not 3, starts coming into the Derby. And the more experience these young horses have, the better they get at running a race.
Yeah.
They start to learn, what's going on, what's expected of them. They learn, okay, it's gonna, after I make that last turn, it's gonna start to hurt,
Yeah.
And some horses are okay with that, and some are not,
Yeah.
So experience matters. They learn how to handle traffic. They learn how to handle the kickback, the dirt going up in their faces.
And the Derby, there's a lot of traffic and a lot of
There's going to be a
kickback.
lot of traffic. So I think those horses that have more starts coming into these races are better equipped to handle the stress of the Derby.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. So My World, we're gonna be watching My World to see where he runs next, and
Yeah.
you're thinking 2, maybe 3 more races.
Who's riding it? Who's the jockey? Jaime Rodriguez.
Jaime Rodriguez, and he's a multi-stakes winning jockey.
Multiple graded stakes.
Graded
winning
stakes.
jockey.
There we go. Yeah. So we're gonna follow this horse. You're going to we're gonna wait for his next race. We're gonna keep talking about him and keep watching him.
Yeah. Let's take a quick look and see where he is right at the moment. And
Yeah.
the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to Equibase,
Okay.
and we're going to look up My World, and we're going to go down here to Workouts
Equibase.
in Equibase.
My World
Okay.
Workouts.
And he is at Belmont Park,
Okay.
and he breezed the 28th at Belmont, and his last start was January 3rd. So he breezed 6 days before that race. It's only been, what's the date today?
It is the 17th.
17th. So it's been 2 weeks. So he's probably, this horse may be breezing this weekend sometime, like tomorrow or the next day.
Now, let me ask you about that.
So the last thing we know is that he was training at Belmont.
As a trainer, as you're getting these horses ready for these prep races and kind of gearing them towards the Derby, how often do you want them to breeze? How hard do you want them? You know, again, we don't know what the jockeys or the exercise riders been asked to do on the breeze.
Yeah. Well, you can't go by me because I don't do anything in the conventional sense.
Let's flip it. What do you think?
But
what do you think Cox is?
conventionally, so the horse race January 3rd. A week later on January 10th, you're going to skip that breeze. All right. So then on January 17th, you might come back and breeze then. And today's what?
The 17th.
Okay. So he may have breeze today, and it hasn't been posted yet.
Okay. Okay.
Or he may be breezing tomorrow. So we'll see. The other thing, possibility is they may skip a race, give them a break, come back a little fresher for these big races that are coming up. So
when you say skip race, you're thinking conventionally is a race a month, but they may skip one of those.
These races, like we were saying, the Derby's the first weekend of May.
Right.
So if you count backwards, most trainers they want to run about every 4 weeks. They don't want to run in 3 weeks, even though they're going to have to for the Preakness of Belmont 2 weeks and 3 weeks.
Which again, I think that makes it really hard to be a Triple Crown winner. But
I don't.
As you say, most like trainers know the horses can do that. That's fine for them to come back that quickly.
So I don't know. We'll see if he skips a race here or not.
Okay.
One of the things that we talked about earlier was the Exacta box.
Okay.
So I don't know. You want to explain to these guys what an Exacta box is?
Well, we did it on one of our other episodes, but an Exacta is you're picking the horse that comes in first, the horse that comes in second. If you box it, you're covering both ways. So you're paying twice as much for the bet, but either horse can finish first, but they have to finish first and second. We were talking about something interesting. There's still a betting term called a quinella, and it's like
they don't do them anymore.
Yeah, quinella is a $1 Exacta box. Is what
Exactly.
It is. But it was a quinella when it was a $2 minimum on the Exacta. Well, now it's a $1 minimum. So the quinella, they still have it out there, but it's really not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Where do they have?
Some tracks still let you use the term quinella, and they have it on their things.
And when I was a kid, back before the automobile was invented, and so when I was a kid, at some tracks it was called an Exacta. At other tracks it was called a perfecta.
A perfecta, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were also talking a while back because now you can bet on multiple races. You can bet on doubles, triples, fours. But back
they
in
didn't
the
have
day,
any of that.
They had the daily double, which was the first two races only the first
second,
two,
and that was it.
So if you wanted to bet the double, you had to be there before race one.
You had to be there, and everybody knew what the double was back then. They'd say the double. I'm leaving work early. I'm going to the track, and in the office, anybody want to place bet a double, and everybody would have their numbers, and so somebody go and place all the bets.
Yeah.
I could tell you a funny story about that.
Okay.
So I had a friend of mine. These two guys, they were nuts. This is back in the 60s. And they were going to go to the track. This is in Chicago, and they were going to go to Hawthorne. They were running at Hawthorne. And the brother-in-law of one of these guys, whom this guy didn't particularly like, the brother-in-law was kind of an overachiever, and my buddy Danny was definitely an underachiever, right?
All right.
He says, "Oh, bet a double for me. My birthday." It was like 3-1 or something like that, you know, the month and day. And so he bets these numbers. Well, my buddy Danny considered himself to be an expert handicapper, and he just like, you know, poo-pooed this whole thing, right? So he goes to Hawthorne, and he bets this guy's double, and the guy wins like $2,000, right? Puts money in his pocket. He's betting his races. He loses virtually all of his money. He loses, but he got $2,000 in his pocket. So he starts betting that. By the end of the afternoon at Hawthorne, he's down to like $200 of this guy's money.
Oh no!
Now, there was an odd situation in Chicago back in those days, because you had Hawthorne Park. There was a chain link fence, and then on the other side of that chain link fence was Sportsman's Park. So all you had to do is walk through the parking lot, go through the gate and the fence, and walk right into Sportsman's Park, where they had harness racing at night. Right? So there's two carts racing right next to each other on the same day. And this was only for like a week every year that they overlapped.
Back to back,
right?
okay.
So Danny goes over to Sportsman's Park, desperate, makes a few bets, wins the guy's money back, wins it all back. Then decides he's so hot he can't lose.
No.
He continues betting the guy's money and loses it all. When he gets home, he says, "Hey, here's your $20. I got closed out. I didn't get your bet down." Now that's a horse player.
Yeah. Now you just exposed him though.
Nobody knows his
It's in the 60s.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That is a horseman.
That is, yeah.
So, well,
Anyway.
terrific. Well, thank you for your time. We'll do more of these, and we'll keep following My World.
My World.
All
My
right.
World.
Thank
That's
you,
a
sir.
guy. Okay. Talk to you guys later.